Why didn't I think of that option? Now I have to say I regret. Why I installed a casement window. And if you don't want to have last minute surprises like what I had. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Catherine. Thanks for clicking into my video. In my channel, I talk about house renovation, home decoration, and some tips and tricks that can help you organize your beautiful home better. If you don't want to miss any home tips from me, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay connected. Alright, you all know that my husband and I renovated our 100-year-old terraced house from scratch last year. In the top right hand corner, I put a link. In that video, I walked you through the whole process and highlighted some before and after pictures. Overall, I have to say I'm very pleased with the end result and we're happily living here every day. However, renovation is all about regrets because you learn new things through the process and your vision evolves during the renovation as well. So it is inevitable to have some level of regrets no matter how well your renovation has been executed. Before we renovated our house, one question we always want to ask around was there anything that you would do differently if you were to do your renovation again? Because we knew that the answer to that question would help us significantly avoid making the same mistakes or achieve a better finishing. So today, let me talk about our top 10 renovation regrets. What would we do differently if we were given a second chance? The first regret is our kitchen window. In my previous video, you all know that this window is located in our kitchen and it is above the kitchen sink. It is a very lovely window. It's nice. It's made of aluminum anthracite gray color. It's also quite wide, which is about 1.3 meter. However, every time now I look at the window, I ask myself, why I installed a casement window in here? Or why I even needed a window that opens. We seldom open this window. Maybe during summer it got opened for a couple of times. However, we got a sliding door right here. If we need to ventilate or air out, we can just easily open up the sliding door in here. So an openable window above the kitchen sink in here becomes quite redundant. Instead, if I were to do it again, I think what I would do is to install a very large piece of window with slim frame on the side, so the style can go better with the sliding door in here, and also I can get rid of the thick frame in the middle which blocks the vision. Second regret on my list is this window sill. If we continue the topic on window, now you can see why we seldom open the window, because I can barely touch the handle on the window, let alone the fact that now I'm heavily pregnant at the time of this video. I think it would have been nicer if we can reduce the height of the sill by 10 to 15 centimeters. However, I wouldn't drop the window sill directly to the kitchen sink level, because don't forget that this area is a splashing area and all the water from the kitchen tap will get splashed onto your window and you need to do the cleaning every day. And remember, cleaning the window is not something that you want to repeat on a daily basis. Third regret I had is I didn't install a separate pull-out hose here to clean the sink. At the very beginning of my renovation, when I was still doing the design of the house, I always knew I wanted to install a pull-out hose with instant boiling water function. As I mentioned for a lot of times, instant boiling water function can be really convenient for cooking and tea making. A pull-out hose can be really handy when you want to clean the kitchen sink when it's dirty. Also, I would like to get a concealed hose, not like the one showing on the screen here, because I don't quite like this type of design, and when it gets dirty, it can be quite difficult to clean it up. After doing my homework and research, the only brand that does this type of pull-out hose with instant boiling water function is Cooker. However, I didn't want to pay 2 to 3K for a kitchen tap. Therefore, we give up on Cooker and installed this one with a fixed hose. But after we moved in, I accidentally saw someone's Instagram post of their kitchen sink with a separate pull-out hose installed right here on the countertop. And then I immediately started regretting, why didn't I think of that option at all at the time of renovation? It costs nothing to install, but it supplements the function of the pull-out hose for cleaning the sink. Well, I guess the reason is when you are deep in the process during the renovation, your mind was just too busy on other stuff, so you can't think of everything. So here, my suggestion would be take good notes of those very smart designs that you come across in your life every day, and later on when you get the chance to renovate the house, you can implement those ideas into your future home. The fourth regret I had is mullions in some of the kitchen cupboard. I mean, I love my kitchen and I do enjoy using every part of it. It's big, it is pretty, and most importantly, it functions. However, if I open up the cupboard in here, you would notice there is a huge mullion in the middle of the cupboard to separate these two doors. This was something that I completely didn't know until we received the kitchen physically. It was not on the kitchen design sketch, and I did complain this, but the kitchen supplier said the sketch was only for visual aid. It can't be used as a reflection of how the kitchen would look like in real life. Anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail about the kitchen supplier. What I want to say is, for the most of the time, I don't find this mullion too annoying because I can still navigate myself within the kitchen. However, it does bring some level of inconvenience to the kitchen. For example, first of all, when we did our kitchen worktop installation for the ladder, our fitter had to cut the stone into half, otherwise it can't be installed within the ladder. Second, for storage purposes, you just can't plan the space as a whole. For example, if I were to put a microwave in here, the mullion in here would just block the opening of the door on the microwave. And third, it does block the vision to some extent. Sometimes I do need to look left and right to see what's inside the cupboard to find certain stuff. I did ask my kitchen supplier why there is a mullion in the middle of the cupboard, and the answer I got was for structural purposes. I mean, I wouldn't disagree, this does look more rigid, and I guess it gives a lot of support to the cupboard and the kitchen would be more solid. Well, I guess there must be a more aesthetically pleasing solution to solve the structural problem than just adding a visible mullion in the middle of the cupboard. The takeaway here is you have to be very detailed with your kitchen design. Kitchen involves a lot of details, and if you don't want to have last-minute surprises like what I had, you have to go through it line by line with your kitchen supplier. The fifth regret I had is glass partition door for the living room. We ripped off all the interior and brought the house back to brick. Therefore, the entire ground floor layout is brand new. We designed it according to our living habit because we want to have kids and we want to be able to house friends. So we opened up the entire space. From the living room to kitchen and diner, there is no hard partition. The hallway at the back of me kind of acted as a partition between the living room and the extension. However, if I were to do it again, I might consider adding a Manhattan-style glass pocket door right over there to separate the living room from the rest of the ground floor. Glass door is a very good partition for living room. It does give the privacy to a certain extent while not blocking lights at all. And even when it closes, it still gives that open feel. I guess the only drawback of a glass door is its budget. It can cost easily a few £1,000s more to your renovation project. However, the aesthetic look of a glass door probably can justify its price tag. What do you think? My sixth regret is shelves in base unit. In my previous kitchen, I didn't have any drawers at all, so that's why in this kitchen I have installed a lot of drawers. However, for some reason, I just overlooked these two base cabinets. Now I can't even recall the reason why I didn't ask for a pull-out unit or drawers. I wish I had 3 drawers in this base unit so I can store things such as knives and spatula and some ingredient jars which can make the cooking really convenient. And for this base unit below the oven, I wish I have installed 2 pull-out baskets so I can put all the baking trays in here, which can make my life way easier. However, like I said before, drawers and pull-outs are very handy, but they do cost way more than just shelves. Let's take IKEA as an example. This is the method line. If we were to buy a cabinet with just shelves, it will only cost you £56, but a base unit with 3 drawers will cost you £186, which is more than 3 times the price of the base unit with shelves. This method line is only the very baseline of the entire IKEA kitchen selection. For For more sophisticated lines and higher-end kitchen brand, you can imagine how much more drawers can cost. So my suggestion here would be build as many drawers as possible within your budget. If you had to compromise drawers or shelves for lower kitchen budget, you can click on the video right in here to see how I turned my shelves into very accessible storage space. Seventh regret from me is open wall shelves. Now you would probably be asking, hang on a minute, didn't you just mention that you don't like shelves? Are you contradictory to yourself? Well, not necessarily. If you have watched some videos from me previously, you would have noticed that my renovation ideas are primarily dominated by practicality. So that's why when I was working on our kitchen design, I never ever thought about installing any wall shelves at all, because I want everything to be hidden away and I don't want dust accumulating on my plates and mugs. However, now I realize actually wall shelves are a great way to decorate the place up. If I can carve out a corner in the kitchen to install some open wall shelves, I can put a plant or two or some everyday mugs and cups to decorate it up, and those wall shelves becomes a decoration corner more than a storage shelf on its own. The eighth regret I had is white grouting on floor tiles. We had white grouting on our outdoor tiles. However, after the tiles were installed for a while, we started noticing the stains on the grouting. Leaves drop all the time. With rainwater and everything, the grouting can be easily stained and this can't be washed away easily. If we were to do it again, I would choose a darker color so at least you can't see the dirty part. Ninth regret is lack of LED lights. Okay, this is an area my husband had a lot of complaint on me. I had to admit that I completely underestimated the importance of artificial lighting. My understanding of lighting is way too basic and naive. To me, I thought the reason you need a lighting is to light things up. Yes, but lighting does way more things than that. Lighting can add atmosphere, it can provide emphasis on certain decorations, and also it can change the purpose of a room. For example, we installed under the cabinet LED lighting in our kitchen, which does way more than just lighting up the worktop. However, when we're designing the lighting for the alcove unit in our living room, my husband wanted to install the same kind of LED light as we did for the kitchen cabinet. I was just so upset about the number of lighting I will have in such a small space, so in the end we didn't install any LED light at all. Now I have to say I regret. It would have been so much nicer if we had installed those LED lights, so the decorations can be more vivid and the wall will look less dull. Well, I guess this is a hard lesson learned from my side. At least in the next renovation, I know where I should improve. The last regret from me was I was too conservative with colors. When I was choosing wall colors, I bought a lot of testing samples and brushed them onto the wall before I decided which color was for which room. I still think that is the right approach and I'm so glad I did that. However, because I've never chosen color for walls, so I was so afraid of certain colors that can make the room look so cheap and outdated. Therefore, I went with very safe choices for all the rooms. For example, for the ground floor, I chose this frosted steel color from Dulux. It is a white-based color with a very light touch of blue. I mean, it is nice, it is safe, but it looks a little bit pale. And for all the bedrooms, I chose Netmac white. And even for the wooden stair handle and the balusters, I chose Goose Down Grey. I mean, they look nice, I still like it, but I wish I could be more bold with colors so the house might look more interesting. In this house, the only place I went extra mile with colors is our downstairs toilet, because that is a very tiny space and I thought it wouldn't be that off even if I choose a wrong color. So I used the peacock green to paint the entire wall. With the black hardware and the light toilet finishing, it comes out surprisingly good. I'm so happy with the end result. Alright, that is the 10 regrets I have realized until now about my renovation. I think maybe in a couple of months' time, I'll come up with another list with new regrets. I'll keep sharing my personal experience on renovation. Hopefully this can help you or at least give you some inspiration to your renovation project. Thank you so much for staying with me. Bye for now, and I will see you next Friday 7 PM back in my channel. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye bye.